Going on your first date is a weird experience because on the outside you're trying to look smooth, but inside you're melting. Your brain's doing backflips, your stomach's staging a coup, your inner monologue is just screaming, don't be weird, don't be weird, don't, too late. So let's break down what's really going on your first date, from overthinking the text to replaying every awkward moment in bed later like it's a horror film. Phase 1 is the texts before the date. It all starts with the we should hang out moment, and now you're both dancing around it like, yeah, for sure, what day works for you? I'm free whenever, lol, which is translated to neither of us are okay, and this is terrifying. Then comes the planning. Where do you go? You don't want to seem basic, but you also don't want to accidentally plan like a 6-hour hike and die halfway through trying to impress them. So you settle on something safe, like coffee, dinner, bowling, something human. But now your brain's like, what if they hate coffee? What if they're allergic to food? You know, what if they bowl like a pro and I break my ankle? You haven't even met up yet and you're already sweating. Phase 2 is getting ready. This is where the crisis kicks in. You gotta pick out an outfit. You change again. You convince yourself that you look weird. You consider canceling. You check your armpits 6 times. You Google, what do normal people wear on first dates? You start saying things like, maybe I'll just keep it casual. Then you walk out the door looking like you're going to prom. You spray on 7 different types of cologne, overthink your hair, stare in the mirror like, is this what I actually look like? There is no confidence. You're pacing around your room like you're about to fight in a boss battle. You rehearse jokes in your head, practice your smile in the mirror, and then you hate it immediately. You do like one tiny eyebrow raise, then another, then both. Now you look possessed. Cool. You triple check your pockets, phone, wallet, keys, gum, then you panic. What if I got a hug and then I'm sweaty and you're dabbing your neck with the towel like you just ran a marathon? Every second before you leave feels like a countdown to Judgment Day, and as you lock the door behind you, there's this brief moment of stillness where you're like, okay, I'm either gonna fall in love or embarrass myself so badly that I have to move to another state. You get in the car or on the train or you start walking, and during that commute you enter a full-blown mental tornado. You replay every conversation you've ever had with them. You question your taste in music, movies, clothes, even your existence. Convince yourself that they're gonna take one look at you and then fake an emergency like, oh no, my grandma's fish exploded, gotta go. You arrive early, of course, because being late would end you. So now you're just waiting, pretending to scroll on your phone while secretly scanning the crowd, checking your reflection in every shiny surface. At one point you stare so hard into your phone camera you convince yourself that you're ugly again, and then you see them. They walk up, they smile, and all you can think is, don't trip, don't say anything weird, don't ask if they believe in aliens, just be normal. You say, hey, way too loud, and then immediately go quiet. They smile back. Now it's real. The date has officially begun, and now your survival instincts are fully activated. You said hey. They said hey. Now it's just silence. Not real silence, like words are happening, but it's all white noise because your brain is buffering. Your voice doesn't even sound like yours. You laugh at something that wasn't a joke. You nod a lot, too much. You're nodding like a bobblehead in a car crash. You try small talk. So, how was your day? They answer. You immediately forgot what they said because you're too busy thinking about how you're sitting. Are your hands weird? Why do your knees feel visible? Why is your face doing that thing where it twitches when you're nervous? Then comes the menu moment. If it's dinner or drinks, you both suddenly become Michelin critics. What are you getting? Please don't say chicken tenders. Please don't say chicken tenders. Oh, I'll probably get like chicken tenders. Fuck! You start wondering if you're being too much or not enough. You say something that's like kind of funny. They laugh. You feel powerful. But then you follow it up with something dumb. Like, yeah, I used to eat grass as a kid, and now you want to bury yourself under the table. Every sentence feels like it could ruin your life. You're talking in circles, over-explaining everything. They ask what you do, and you make it sound like a confession. I make videos. But not like in a weird way, not like bad videos, like good videos, like, actually, maybe I'll shut up. And yet somehow they're still smiling, still here, still listening. You're panicking, but they seem okay. You make one good joke and it lands. You breathe. You made it through the first 5 minutes. The ice is cracked, and now it's time to see if you can swim. Now we're halfway through the date, and things are shifting. You stop trying so hard. The fake laugh turns into a real one. Your shoulders loosen. You're no longer fighting for your life. You're actually enjoying yourself. The convo starts to flow. You're not just exchanging fun facts about your favorite color. Now you're telling little stories like, one time in 8th grade, I peed my pants during a fire drill. And they're like, no way. One time I threw up on a field trip bus. Now it's bonding. Now it's real. You stop both acting like your LinkedIn profile pictures and you start talking like actual people. You ask questions without overthinking. They answer without filtering. Suddenly it's not a Q&A session anymore. It's just talking. You catch yourself smiling at them. Not on purpose, it just happens. And they smile back. And now you're thinking, wait, is this actually going well? You both start slipping into your real personalities. You make a dumb joke, not trying to impress, just being you. And they love it. And now you're like, okay, they like me for me. Weird. There's even this moment where you pause and it's not awkward. Like you both sip your drinks, take a bite, and just kind of sit in silence and it feels fine, comfortable. You didn't plan this. You didn't didn't rehearse this part, but somehow it's working. You're still anxious, you're still sweating, but it's like a fun kind of nervous now. Like your heart's racing, but it's not fear, it's excitement. And deep down you're thinking, holy shit, this might actually be the start of something. Now we're at the final phase of the date where the check hits the table and the vibe shifts and you say something like, I'll cover it, don't worry, trying to sound smooth, but your card's praying that it clears. And if it's split the bill, you both fake confidence like you weren't just mentally calculating tax since the appetizer. You walk out together and it's kind of surreal. The nerves are gone, just two people who survived the date and actually had fun. You both linger. No one wants to say that it's over, but you know that there's tension in the air. Not bad tension, but possibility tension. Are we hugging, high-fiving, or are we doing that awkward half step forward then mission abort thing? Maybe there's a hug, maybe there's a kiss, or maybe it's just a, this was really nice. A polite way of saying, I'd totally see you again if I don't implode from stress first. Then you both part ways, and immediately you start overthinking every second. Did I talk too much? Was that one joke too weird? Why did I say you two when I asked if they had fun? Am I undateable? You lay in bed like you're editing a podcast of the date in your head, cutting clips, analyzing tone, convincing yourself that smiling too much was somehow offensive. But deep down, you know that it wasn't that bad. It was actually kind of good. Maybe even great, because for all the panic, all the self-doubt, all the awkward little hiccups, you showed up, you connected, and now you've got a story. Whether it turns into something or not, you did it. You went on your first date, and you lived to tell the tale. Now we're on phase 7, which is the after the date limbo mode. You wake up the next day and immediately check your phone. Nothing. No, I had a great time. No funny follow-up meme. No cryptic emoji. Just the crushing silence of a delivered iMessage and your own paranoia. You start spiraling. Are they gonna ghost me? Did I read the whole thing wrong? Maybe they're just busy. Maybe they died. You reread the last text like you're decoding ancient scrolls. They say, this was fun. Okay, but was that a neutral smiley face at the end or a fake nice one? You debate texting first, but what do you even say? Hey, just making sure that date wasn't a government experiment to test my self-esteem. Sometimes they reply, sometimes they vanish, sometimes they hit you with the dreaded, sorry, I've just been so busy lately, which is Gen Z for I'm not interested, but I'm scared of confrontation. And that's the reality of it. You know, post-date limbo is like emotional purgatory. You're not rejected, but you're not confirmed either. You're just kind of floating with feelings and no context. And if they do text back, you're right back at it. Planning a second date, overthinking all over again, but this time with a little more confidence and maybe one less outfit change. So yeah, first dates are wild. One second you're Googling how to not be awkward, and the next you're deep in a post-date spiral, wondering if your laugh was weird. They're messy, they're nerve-wracking, and half the time you walk away not knowing if you just met your soulmate or if you're never speaking again. But that's what makes it real. You showed up, you put yourself out there, you got dressed, powered through the cringe, and you let someone see you, even if just for an hour, over chicken tenders and nervous eye contact. Now, whether that leads to love, a situationship, or just a funny story for the group chat, you did the hardest part, you tried, and that's a W. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please be sure to leave a like on this video, and check out my Spotify where I post all my videos early, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Peace.